Hi Bahamas, Cialan Johnson. Many of you know me as Critical Thinker. Just a quick note on this coronavirus pandemic that is sweeping the globe. I just want to talk about the ships that is out there, the cruise shipping industry, and the fact that the Bahamas, for many who may not know, is the third largest ship registry in the world. And now you have instances where individuals on cruise ships are beginning to become showing symptoms or sign or exposure to the coronavirus, and countries are now turning them away. In fact, we just today turned away a ship from the Bahamas that is carrying the Bahamian flag. You know, many consider a crisis just that, a crisis. Myself and others looks at it as an opportunity. And people will say, like, what do you mean by opportunity? Well, let's take in perspective that the majority of our tourist visitors in the Bahamas comes on cruise ship. Let's look at it from the fact that around the world right now, warning is going out by the major countries concerning individuals taking cruises, but there's still tens of thousands of millions of individuals who will still begin to take a cruise and has the potential for exposure to the coronavirus. Being the third largest ship registry in the Bahamas, I see this as an opportunity for us to begin to look at us as an archipelago, us as a major shipping lane type environment where cruise ships, whether they're stopping here or not, passes through, other ships pass through. Well, I just want for us to take into consideration. Let's use an example. We have 700 islands and keys, but I want to use one that I know is readily available with the infrastructure for immediate use, and that is Mayaguana. Mayaguana has, if not the second or the third largest runway in the region that was built by the United States military. Also, right off the base of Mayaguana is the access to what is called a deep water harbor. A lot of people may not be aware of this, but for 15 years, even before the I group, I've advocated that be utilized as a transshipment port where interchange or where people fly in, jump off, and go to another location. Now I'm going to come back and we can talk about the enormity of the islands in the Bahamas, because a lot of you may not even realize an island within the vicinity of that, which is called Inagua, is the third largest, I think. Anyway, it's within the top four largest islands in the Bahamas. You know, for information's sake, you have Andros as the largest island. You have Abaco, it's the second largest island in the Bahamas, and then you have Inagua is the third largest island, and you have Grand Bahamas, the fourth largest island. I'm pretty sure that's correct, but just for a lot of people who may have known that, this is just a little bit of tidbit about us, who we are. When you come back down to Mayaguana, which is right away from Inagua, and the point I use for Mayaguana is a very small, sparsely populated, but the potential there is enormous. And the reason I say that is we're going to come, I'm going to come and explain that right now, but just let me say this is the beginning of a conversation. We need to talk about redefining the 21st century Bahamas, who we are and what we can become. But this pandemic has created a unique opportunity. You're going to have these individuals on cruise ships that countries is going to be rejecting, even ourselves. Well, consider this. How about setting up a rapid response field environment? You know, we can build the facilities there in a matter of moments. We're talking about billion-dollar corporations that is in the cruise industry. We talk about billion-dollar corporations that's in the shipping industry. And surely us being the third largest shipping registry in the world has to have some maritime influence in respect to that. But clearly what we can do is we can establish on that island, separate and away from the communities that are there, a field environment where ships can dock off from that island. Individuals can be tested, field lifted to the island for containment, for treatment, for whatever else, to get them to the position to be transported to another location. But what it does, though, if you have 1, 2, 4, 5, 10 individuals that's on a cruise ship, what it does, it allows them for containment off that ship, whether it be a cruise ship or otherwise, onto this island, separate away again from the Bahamas that are there. This also gives us an opportunity to improve the standard of housing and other things that's on that island, because clearly we have neglected marijuana for a long time, and it gives us a unique opportunity now to maybe build another community for those individuals at no cost. We can but at the same time we can build field hospitals and field clinics and the likes in that particular environment. The technology exists today, and when we're talking about what it will cost these cruise ships and other things to simply sit there out at the ocean with thousands of individuals on it, feeding, fuel, all of these different things. Just because 1, 2, 3, maybe 10, maybe 50, even 100 people is on a cruise ship, that increases the viability of, if there is a coronavirus, it's spreading to other individuals on the boat, because they have a closed air conditioning system, so it circulates throughout the ship. So we create an environment for a rapid response, that they can go there, individuals can be taken to the islands, proper medical person, proper protocols, everything established, so that we can minimize the increase of this coronavirus in those particular environments. And so we can look at marijuana. The facility is there because, for those who may not even be familiar, the marijuana plays an important role in the Cuban Missile Crisis, and that's why the airport is there, and that's why the Deepwater Harbor is there, that's why a lot of things are there. But we're in the 21st century, and we're not talking about years and whatever else that we often hear talked about in the prospect of the cruise business, or the so-called foreign investors who come here because they're trying to maximize their profit. This is a critical situation. It is a crisis of proportionality that we have not seen in the world, and it's an opportunity for the Bahamas to step up in its role of who we are and who we can become. And I just think that we need to give it some consideration. I have some much more detailed thoughts on this, and many of you who know I don't speak without first doing my research. And so, but this is not the time for me to sit down for an hour, 2 hours and go through the logistics for you, but it's just a thought that I want to plant in the mind of individuals. It could be marijuana, it could be someone else, but I think marijuana has the airport facility, it has the Deepwater Harbor facility. We can bring planes, airlift, medical supplies, building supplies, whatever it is there in the shortest period of time. And no excuses. You have China building hospital in a matter of days. We can pave roads. We have the Army Corps of Engineers, and these are their citizens that they also have to be concerned about. And so all it requires is for a team of individuals, Mr. Randall Wells, Diaglo, you as tourism, Brent Wells, you as the Minister of Transport, and whoever else that needs to be there, Minister of Immigration, Minister of National Security. I invite you to invite me, but I don't have to be there. You always ignore me, but that's cool. I just want a better Bahamas for all of us. Find the expertise. Find people who can just simply take the seed that I've just planted and expand on it and build it. But the back end of this is that there is some offshoots of this that we can actually look at. That we have a unique opportunity, because this isn't just a one-off. This is actually an opportunity for how do we expand greater thinking into our involvement in the new dispensation of how global economics will carry on. So just a thought. I ask you to share the video. I ask you to reach out to your members of parliament. But for those of you, just reach out, give it to them, and maybe the Prime Minister and others may see this video, so that we can actually, instead of running away from problems, a solution-orientated a country, we can actually solve problems, not just for us, but for the world. Thank you for taking the time for watching this video, and please share it.